Would you take a look at that? There's no time to mess around with a long intro, everybody. It's the Sometimes Vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. Sometimes it happens in Paris, France, at the Louvre. And do you know what that is right there behind me and in front of you? That, my friends, is the Mona Lisa. The real Mona Lisa. Maybe the most famous painting in the world, painted by Leonardo, not the Ninja Turtle, common mistake, Leonardo DaVinci. 1500s. And look at all these people taking pictures, and I heard about 5 or 6 people speaking English who said, why is she so famous? And I was thinking, she's kind of like Paris Hilton, right? She's just famous for being famous, but in a much more beautiful way. Welcome everybody to the Louvre. This place is crazy. Once a fortress and then later a palace for the French monarchs. It has since become, after the revolution, a place to display the royal art collection first, and then the art collection of the nation and the people of France. I think I'm getting that right. I'm a little flustered. Look at that. The Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci's favorite painting. It's a painting of a lady named Lisa. Basically, Mona Lisa in Italian is like Lady Lisa. The Italians call it La Gioconda, because her name was Lisa Giocondo, and Jocunde or Gioconda means like happy, like jovial, like the jovial lady. So it's the jovial lady over there, or the Lady Lisa. That's pretty crazy. And if it's not satisfying that we can't get that close to her, because it's pretty difficult to get close, honestly. Look at this horde of people. Well, then I have just the thing for you. Just hold on 1 second here, and I'll show it to you. But look at this crowd. Look at how many cameras and smartphones. There are people from all over the world here. I have heard every language known to man in the last couple of minutes. Boy, I'm sorry, I'm doing awkward things with my hands in pockets and everyone's staring at me because I'm talking to you. That's crazy. This is the most famous painting in the entire world. I don't even know what to say about it. I know a lot about the Mona Lisa because of watching documentaries about Leonardo and, of course, the Da Vinci Code. Who hasn't seen that good one, huh? Tom Hanks is a big fan of this painting. But also, I think everybody knows a little about the Mona Lisa. Leonardo loved this painting so much, he apparently carried it around with him everywhere he went. Not a lot of people know that Leonardo, of course he was an Italian painter. We're in the Italian paintings wing over here. Not a lot of people know that he actually came to France at the request of the king, and he was the king was his patron at the time. So Leonardo was doing all of his work for France. Not a lot of people know that. They think it's an Italian painting and he was exclusively an Italian painter, but Leonardo came to France and did stuff and carried that sucker around with him into his old age and death. And later, of course, famously, the Mona Lisa was actually stolen from the Louvre by an Italian guy, what was his name, Vincent Perugia, I think, who just came in here one day and sort of took it down and walked out with it. I think he used it as a table for a while. Super, super fascinating. All kinds of information on the internet and in documentaries and books and everything about that. Look it up. The theft of the Mona Lisa is pretty fascinating stuff. I don't think anyone's going to be stealing her again anytime soon. Look at all these people from all over the world. They're admiring the Mona Lisa and they're weirding out on me. Pretty much the Mona Lisa and I are the world's 2 greatest attractions. That and this guy's hat. That's a very nice hat. I really like that hat. I want a hat like that for Christmas. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. The Mona Lisa's right there. Oh, what I was gonna say is, if it's not satisfying getting such a faraway glimpse of the Mona Lisa, I'll give you a close-up. She looks pretty much like this. You see that over there? And now we zoom in, picture in picture. Dun, 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 dun. I can save you all the trouble. You don't have to wait in line. You can just get close and look at mine. It looks the same. Actually, mine might actually look a little better. It's a little newer. So this thing was painted in the 1500s and is now the most famous painting, maybe the most famous piece of art in the entire world, here in the Louvre in France, and I finally saw it. It's a crazy bucket list item, and I came and I did it. I found out that filming was not only allowed in here, but they have like little signs everywhere that say like, share your Instagram pictures, use this hashtag for the Louvre. So the Louvre is pretty hip to the whole take pictures of things thing. Look at those selfie sticks and cameras and people doing wonderful things. Just a second ago, okay, I could do it again. Just a second ago, I was in here doing this. Taking a fun pic, squeezing her head. I was squeezing the Mona Lisa's head and taking a fun pic. So a lot of people in here taking pictures and doing crazy stuff. You know what I just realized is, this is a huge bucket list thing, right? Seeing the Mona Lisa, one of the world's greatest art treasures in Paris, France, in the Louvre, just standing in the Louvre. And I have just put the words fun pic in there forever. A joke that's been going on for the past couple of weeks on Periscope and other social media from me. Just not even making fun of anybody, just having fun with taking fun pictures and just being silly about the words fun pic. And I have now put that into the Louvre and my experience of seeing the Mona Lisa the first time for the rest of my life. I'm actually going to stop and look at it. The second I came in this room and walked over here, I started the vlog. So you're seeing the Mona Lisa as much as I've seen the Mona Lisa. When I saw her through the doorway over here, and I'll post the Instagram picture of it. When I saw her through the doorway over there, I literally had chills all over my body and kind of choked up a little. Not because I'm particularly emotionally attached to the Mona Lisa, but I just realized that this is a crazy moment. This is a crazy moment for me. A kid from Anaheim with no future. My parents were pretty young when they had me, and they worked their way up from nothing. Now they own a house and all that normal type of stuff, but they worked their way up from nothing, living in the ghetto, all crazy, with not a penny to spare, nothing happening, no future growing up in the suburbs. Well, they were pretty okay. Compared to some places in the world, I had a really great spoiled upbringing. But, you know, for where I come from, it wasn't so wonderful all the time. But just the fact that a kid from Orange County is standing in the middle of the Louvre in Paris, looking at that, I don't know, something about it is pretty cool. I can see a lot of other people too getting the chills. It's not even so much about the painting itself. And she is, by the way, pretty beautiful. Isn't she cute? Que bella. Que bella. It's not so much about the painting itself as like, look at this. A lot of people just visit the Louvre only to see the Mona Lisa. They pay 15 euro and come in by the millions each year just to look at that one painting and bail. It's insane. And one more look, real close, because we've been in here for a while now. She looks like this. Of course, it's famous that her smile is very famous for being like elusive and mysterious, but really a lot has been read into this painting over the years. It's probably, I mean, who knows? It's definitely the world's greatest painting in that it's the world's most famous painting. It's the world's most enigmatic painting. It's been, you know, debated and talked about. You ever notice, though, that she has no eyebrows? Now, I read somewhere just recently in the course of trying to get here, I read that she used to have eyebrows, but that over the years, as the painting was cleaned and shown and different stuff and touched, over the years that they kind of rubbed off her eyebrows and her eyelashes. But now that I noticed that, I can never I think I might have just ruined the Mona Lisa for all of you. I can never unsee that. Straight up David Ziggy Stardust right there. He must have got the idea from seeing the Mona Lisa. Another connection to my practical day-to-day life. Leonardo, you old fox, you. Ooh, that guy made a crazy sound into a paper tube. It sounded like a siren. Look at that. That is blowing my mind. Anyway, I left Disneyland early today, Disneyland Paris. It got to be like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and I was like, no, you know what? I know this is probably my only day that I'm going to be able to do this. So I went to a train station, figured out how to use a French terminal, and came to here, the Louvre. That's crazy outside. There's the whole glass pyramid. I'm posting all the pictures on Instagram, which my account on there is LiveFastIport. If you don't have an Instagram account, you don't have to download the app. You can go in a browser, go to Instagram.com/LiveFastIport, I'm pretty sure, and you can see all the pictures from this journey to the Louvre. I'm gonna post them all. This is the craziest thing ever. I also might post them on the website once I fix the whole website thing going on. But I'll keep you updated in future vlogs. This is crazy. All right, I have to walk out now. Do you know, the average person, millions and millions of people come to see the Mona Lisa, and there she is, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl she is. She's old, painted in 1500 something. Wait, well, you know what? It might say on the, you might say, I bought this just to be able to show you what she looks like in the vlog as you're looking. Look at that. So what does it say? Leonardo DaVinci, 1452 to 1519. I think he finished her in 1517, but was working on her primarily in like 1507 or something like that. So Leonardo da Vinci, just one more peek. Just one more little peek before we say goodbye. Adieu, Mona Lisa. Au revoir. Goodbye. sayonara, ciao, see ya, peace out. Isn't that crazy? That's the freaking Mona Lisa. That's the Mona Lisa right there. That blows my mind. That's crazy. Whoa, and that's the lady who sweeps up the floor in front of the Mona Lisa. She's also a superstar, just not an appreciated one. Isn't that crazy? Everybody in here kind of agrees. Like, that's the craziest thing ever. Now, of course, there are much bigger paintings in here. And much crazier paintings in here. Anyway, so here we go. We're at the Louvre. I'm trying to get over the Mona Lisa. Isn't it hard? Oh no, someone lost their beanie. Somebody's mind was literally so blown by seeing the Mona Lisa that their cap popped off their head and onto the floor. Anyway, so I figured out how to take a train here from Disneyland. I went through Paris and then I got off way at the wrong station and walked through most of the central city all the way here. And I'm here looking at the Mona Lisa and totally tripping. I'm gonna take one last look. I'm sorry, that's gonna be an awkward pause for you, but that's the craziest thing. I read in the course of coming here, by the way, that's what I was trying to say, that the average person only spends 15 seconds looking at the Mona Lisa. So we've already looked at her longer and from closer than most people ever look at her, even when they do come here. They look at her for 15 seconds and they walk away. They've apparently figured out somehow that a lot of people walk up and go 1,000, 2, 1,000 and bail. And a lot of people come for 30 seconds and then, you know, they round it off and it's an average of 15 seconds. 15 seconds? Let's do it. Let's stare at her for 15 seconds. You ready? Then you can say you've looked at her for the average amount of time that any visitor to the Louvre does. Oh, we got a smartphone in the way. We got a smartphone. Okay, here we go. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're almost there. One more second. Ooh, we did it. 15 seconds. You stared right at her. Isn't that crazy? I'm just going to hold her up while I talk to you. So I took a train here. I walked through a bunch of central Paris. I checked out the Louvre, the outside of it, and I was tripping out thinking this was the home of kings. They fought the revolution outside here of France and, you know, beheaded King Louis XVI and his wife Marie Antoinette were beheaded. I mean, literally a stone's throw away from the entrance to the Louvre. I came through that whole glass pyramid, the whole deal down here, like I said, and now I'm inside the world's foremost art museum. I mean, I'm pretty sure, bar none, this is the world's most famous, foremost, craziest, most famous art museum. Do you know what this is? And I was thinking about this as I was walking up there to the Mona Lisa, who is in this beautiful room all pretty much to herself, because all the other paintings in there, I don't even notice them, I don't even think about them. Look see, that was the first glimpse I got, was like that, through that door, and I went, are you serious? Anyway, I was thinking about this. You know what the Louvre really is? We can talk about how celebrated it is and how wonderful it is and how amazing the Louvre is and all these famous paintings of Queen and cool bands, hair bands. But really what it boils down to is, you know when you're a kid and you do something with crayons and it's like really good? Or you do an art project in school and like it's actually good and like you're impressed with yourself and your parents are super impressed with you and they put it on the fridge and it like stays on the fridge for like a really long time. The Louvre is pretty much the whole world's fridge. Because at first it was just the royal art collection, right? The kings of France, and then a bunch of people convinced one of the Louis, I forget, like, hey man, you should put the royal art collection on display. And the king agreed, and then it became a tradition that the kings would add to it and add to the galleries here because they split for Versailles. I think Louis XIV split for Versailles, and he didn't want to use this as a palace anymore. I don't know why, it's freaking huge. Oh, maybe that's why, because it's probably pretty drafty in here. Some of the paintings are a little like, whoa, violence, what's going on there? Anyway, they split and they pretty much dedicated this to showcasing the royal art collection. Now, when the French Revolution happened, one of the first things that they did was to take all of the art treasures of the nation and make them the people's art treasures, and to prevent theft or vandalism, they almost immediately put a bunch of money and allocated a bunch of resources and humans towards renovating the Louvre and taking care of the art treasures. And then of course when the monarchs came back and took back over from the people, they did the same thing, like the Napoleons and so on and so forth, and all the different kings and all the different people who ruled France for a time here when it sort of kept going back and forth like a ping pong ball. They all had one thing in common from then till now, was to take care of the art treasures and keep them on display for the world here. So anyway, as time has gone on, basically the entire world has agreed to not only to send stuff here, but to just sort of treat this like the world's art museum. which is really, really crazy if you think about it. Especially for me standing in here, it's really crazy to think about. This isn't just like, oh, cool, you know, I went to the best museum in Wichita, Kansas, or I went to the best museum in New York even. It's the New York Museum. Like, this is pretty much the universally agreed upon the world's best art museum. There's all kinds of crazy stuff downstairs, like the Statue of Victory, Venus de Milo's in here somewhere, I haven't found her yet, and all kinds of crazy, creepy paintings and stuff by Michelangelo, and obviously Leonardo, not the Ninja Turtle, Leonardo DaVinci, Raphael, all the famous painters. So every artist you've ever heard of in a boring history class, or in an art class, or on a field trip, they're all here. All their paintings and stuff are here. It's really blowing my mind wide open. So anyway, that's what I came for. I pretty much took the train down here, wandered all over Paris just to come inside. And I know it would be great if we could have started outside the Louvre and I could have walked all the way in, done a 45-minute vlog, but these vlogs are taking so long to upload from France, 7-8 hours sometimes per vlog. It's only 10 or 20 minutes long. I'm trying to keep them as short as possible, but I really, really wanted to come, not only for me, because you know, hey, bucket list item. I mean, I think for a lot of people, that's in one of those 500 things to see before you die, the Louvre, the Mona Lisa. Not just for me, but I thought if I have a chance to be in France and share something by walking in my pants, I don't know what I'm saying, to go see the Mona Lisa and show it to you guys too, or show you like the context of like where it's at and stuff, why not? Anyway, Vincent Perugia, the guy who worked here, I think as a cleaner or something like that, came in and stole the Mona Lisa and just like kind of kept it quietly to himself for a really, really long time. Well, they never really determined his motivation, but a lot of people thought he stole it because he was like, you know, as an Italian thing, a lot of Italians were like, yeah, good, he stole it, you know, bring the Italian painting back to Italy. But what they didn't realize was the French king was paying Leonardo's salary, so he might have been an Italian by birth, but he was working for the French, and it was a French painting from the beginning. So there you go. Look at this. Look out here. That's the Louvre. We're standing in a French palace. We're now sticking out in front of the pyramid thing. The pyramid thing is outside here. Well, anyway, it's tucked in back in there. Look at how long these galleries are. How long these rooms are. They've been substantially added to since it was an art museum, when it was a, you know, fortress in the 1200s or whatever, and a royal palace and stuff. They weren't, all these buildings weren't like, you know, homie's bedroom or something like that. They've all been expanded and added to over the years to house all these crazy art treasures. And now, like, each one of these things is just insane. Like, look at the size of this painting. Look at the size of this painting. I can't even get close enough to this to show you perspective, but the thing is huge. This thing is massive. This thing is huge. I know what you're, I know. Look at over here. I'm pretty sure, you see that head with the blood on it? I'm pretty sure that's got to be Goliath, right? Which makes that King David a very French-looking King David, even though we're in the Italian painting wing. Let's look at this. Guido Reni. Oh, because that's not a stereotype. Oh, because that's not... Really, Frank? Really? Just kidding. Guido Reni, Boulogne, 1575 to 1642. David Vanquer de Goliath. Must mean David's buddies with Goliath. It totally probably doesn't mean vanquish. It totally means he's friends with him. He like put a little red paint on his head. Like, wouldn't it be funny if? And then he cut it off with a sword. Like, just this one painting. We could look at it for a long time. We could be like, what's that? Is that a slingshot? Or think, oh, there's Goliath's giant sword right there. Remember, because David slingshots the rock in his head and he falls down. And then in another part it says he cut off his head with his own sword. And that must be the giant sword right there. And then over here there's a kid and he's like, what's up? I'm pretty smart. I know what's going on. And they're all wearing like Renaissance clothes. Like, these guys are wearing a Ren Fair outfits, right? So you're like, oh, here's a painting of something that happened in the 1500s. No, this is definitely young Jesus teaching like the scholars and stuff. But you would never know that, because we live in a time period where if someone were to draw a picture of that now, they would draw it to be like somewhat historically accurate. Back in the day though, all the famous painters and masters, like there's another King David obviously with Goliath's head, they were using models in the clothes of their own time period, which is really crazy. And almost all art back then was religious. Like now you guys have the Sometimes vlog, and that's art. Wrap your head around that for a second. I've been trying to wrap my head around that all day. We sometimes vlog, and we have all kinds of different art forms. Video games are art. We have all kinds of different art forms, and they cover such a wide variety of subjects. Obviously, religious faith is a huge one. Quest for positivity, you know, good motivation and wonderful themes. There's all kinds of art, and there's all kinds of subject material. I'm going full Connery today. All kinds of subject material, but back in the day, the paintings especially in Europe, where the big money was the Catholic Church, and obviously the Catholic royalty in most cases. See, the glass pyramid that we came in is right over here. When I get outside, I might get a little clip. I might tag on some extra clips to the very end of this vlog, and this one's super long, so I better stop it really quick. But anyway, what was I talking about? Anyway, most of the art used to be religious, so when you come here and look at all these paintings from Italy, from Italian guys, and you know, back in the day when the Catholic Church ruled the world, kind of thing, they are all mostly very, very religious and very, very Catholic looking, especially in this wing. But they have Etruscan art and Middle Eastern art and Eastern European art and African art, and they've got, you know, Napoleon's stuff. Look at the little art, the little Arch de Triomphe. It's a different Arch of Triumph. I don't know what all the buildings. Here's the crazy part about Paris. Look at this. Can you picture like the Three Musketeers running around here and the French Revolution happening? All this crazy stuff happened in this city. Here, I gotta do a separate vlog, I guess, of the outside, but I had to do the Mona Lisa. But anyway, it's just so much. I'll just talk about that later. I'll talk about that stuff later, I guess. Somehow, someday, some way. Instagram, Live Fast I Pour. Snapchat, Live Fast I Pour. Want to help me go even crazier places? You can support me if you want to, only if you want to, if you get some entertainment value, if you think my art is good. You know how all these guys created all this art, by the way? Patrons. Wealthy people said, you're a good painter, I like what you do, I like the cut of your jib, I'm gonna pay your salary while you create this. It wasn't a pay-per-play situation, it wasn't like a bunch of albums. We're gonna print a bunch of your paintings and put them in different stores and hope you make a percentage. It was like, you know, people went, I want to support this directly, and art is sort of returning to that format. You know, record labels are disappearing, big corporations are sort of like stopped, they're not running things anymore. And so we have this thing called Patreon, patreon.com/chested-scott, and that's for me. So if I entertain you and you want to support my art, you can give me like 50 cents a month or something like that. If not, how about checking out livefastiport.spreadshirt.com. And I know I turned this into a commercial. I feel really bad about it, but I am, after all, an American, and that's what we do, isn't it? Anyway, art treasures, the Louvre. I can't think anymore. I'm gonna have to stop this one and start another one because we've already gone over the 20-minute mark, and I don't know how the heck I'm gonna upload this now until I get home. Thank you for joining me in the Louvre in France. You come all the way here, halfway across the world. I don't know about halfway exactly. I'm not sure how big the world is around. You know how many miles the world is around? They didn't know. Don't worry about it. All the way around the world to see the Louvre, to see one of the greatest paintings, the greatest painting maybe, certainly the most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa back there. We did it. We've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well as soon as we figure out how the heck to get out of this building. The clues are in the painting. Subscribe. This is a big place. What they don't tell you on TV is that it's very, very slippery. So if you come here, don't wear shoes like this, because you might slip and fall. I actually saw a lady fall down these stairs not that long ago, and like 30 people had to help her up. It was crazy. So again, if you come to the Louvre, the world's fanciest, craziest, nicest art museum ever in the history of ever, don't wear shoes like these, okay? Don't wear shoes like these, and definitely do not do that. Don't do that, okay? It wouldn't be appropriate. This is, hello, the treasures of the world are here. Don't do that. Okay, the sun is going down outside. The Louvre is closing any second, and I, like Indiana Jones, going under the door and grabbing his hat, have managed to pull off one more amazing thing. Look at this. Look at this world-famous piece of art. That right there, my friends, is the Venus de Milo. And unlike the Mona Lisa, I, to be honest with you, really don't know that much about the Venus de Milo or why she's so famous. All I know is that she's got no arms, which seems like a ripoff enough, And then you find out that it's not Venus at all, it's Aphrodite. Maybe Venus and Aphrodite are the same, but that's a statue of Aphrodite. I feel confused. I feel misled. I don't know what to think. Discovered in April 1820 on the island of Milos in the Cyclades in Greece. That's the most important part. This statue is believed to depict Aphrodite, goddess of love, known to the Romans as Venus. Oh, I feel better now. This masterpiece of Greek marble sculpture, whose sculptor is unknown, is dated from about 120 BC. So 120 years before Christ, or before the Common Era. So they're not using BCE in the Louvre. Well, that's cool. So you mean back before, like, our time, there was another time? And people were, like, doing stuff in it? And carving ladies without their shirts on? I could get behind that. I can get behind that. I don't know if I can get behind the latest music video. You know how we were talking about how all art, you know? There's lots of different art now. I don't know if I always want to play every new video game. But carving ladies without their shirts on? I don't know. I don't know. Could be good.
He likes what he sees.
Just think though, honestly, nobody knows. Nobody knows who carved that. One of the most famous sculptures on the earth. The butt of so many Monty Python jokes. And nobody knows who carved it. The guy's been dead forever and ever, but people still remember his art. Nobody remembers his name, assuming it wasn't him. It's just like the vlog. Someday I'll be dead and nobody will know who filmed this. Kind of a shame, but the art will live on, right? The art will live on. This is crazy. All right, one last look around. Let's give her the 360, huh? Like a Parisian. No wonder that guy was looking for so long back here. She's showing a hint of cheek. Now listen, normally I don't talk about sex, politics, or religion on the Sometimes vlog. I steer clear of all of that. But in this particular case, it's art. So normally I wouldn't be like, look at that butt. What a scandalous thing to do. But when it's art for some reason, everybody's supposed to stand around and go, look at that butt. Also, I love how people have come from around the world to see this art, and they are now taking photos with me in it. Look at this. Nope, we're not taking a fun pic with that. But they're taking I just realized what I was doing there. Oh, mistake. But they just have me in their pictures. That's cool. Now I'm world famous. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'm sorry to tack on another ending to the vlog. I made it a little tacky, but there it is. All right, see you later. Art treasures, wonderful things. The future is ours. And I really honestly still can't find the exit. So.
Remember, kids, it's important to stretch, and even more important, to have genitalia.
I found the exit, don't worry. But seriously though, thank you everyone who supported on Patreon, bought a t-shirt, or just watched the videos, left positive comments. Keep up the quest for positivity. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't do something, and don't tell yourself that you can't do something. Be on your own side, be a positive influence in your own life, and just think, I can do it. Maybe not today, but someday I'll do it. I never thought I'd be here, so you never know where the heck you're gonna end up. And the more positive you think, I really believe, the more positive places that you're gonna end up. So stay on the quest for positivity with me together. I love you all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Au revoir. Look at this awesome postcard I just got in Paris. Isn't it awesome? Look at this awesome postcard. This is great. What a great postcard.